In-person training versus online training. Which one should you do if you're north of 40 and you want to lose belly fat and optimize your health? I've been an in-person trainer for 3 years and an online coach for 2 years now, so I know the pros and cons of both and which one actually works better to see more in the way of results. The main challenge for you is that you're super busy and you want to find a plan that's actually going to work for you and your busy schedule in a way that's actually sustainable. After helping dozens of career-driven men all around the world lose belly fat, lose weight sustainably, and optimize their health, both in person and online, I'm going to give you a fair comparison of both. And then by the end of this video, you'll have a very good understanding of which one you should be doing if you want to see the most in the way of results. So first, let's cover in-person training. So I was an in-person trainer at Anytime Fitness for 3 years. I worked with a wide variety of different demographics, including men north of the age of 40, and usually most individuals wanted to lose weight. And I did help many of them achieve that, and it was great for anyone that wanted to optimize their form, really make sure that they were doing the exercise properly. But one of the biggest problems, the number one biggest issue with in-person training that I would encounter, especially with somebody that was looking to find something that was sustainable for them, is that the accountability would go out the door with them the moment they left the gym. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you're working out with an in-person trainer, right? We all know that you not only need to exercise and you need to boost your metabolic rate, right? But you also need to have a diet that's going to address why you gained this weight, and you need the accountability to apply that plan in the gym and outside of it, because mainly the issues are happening not just in the gym, but outside of it, right? And with an in-person trainer, unfortunately, you do not get that. Usually you may get a little bit of back and forth messaging, maybe a customized workout here and there, but it's price per session, right? And most of the time that you would spend with an in-person trainer is at the gym, not at your house. So whenever you do leave the gym and you go to your house with all these different temptations, maybe you don't know exactly what foods you should be eating or should be avoiding. You don't have someone holding you accountable to a specific nutrition plan. There's all these different moving parts outside the gym, especially pertaining to your diet and the sense of accountability that you would be getting from that diet that are missing. And that's a big problem for many of you. So when those two things aren't being addressed outside the gym, you can work out as much as you want. You can go to all your in-person sessions, but if the diet that you're coming home to and the meals that you're eating whenever you do get done working out aren't serving you, they aren't addressing the root cause of weight gain, and most of all, they're really convenient options, and they're most likely things that are pretty unhealthy, that are quick to grab, and you don't have the accountability from a coach to hold your feet to the fire to pick the right options, then it's not going to matter how much you work out. You can have 7 sessions a week, a session every single day, but if your diet is not on point and you don't have the accountability to apply that plan either, there's just way too many moving parts that aren't going to be addressed. So that's by far the biggest issue if you're looking to lose belly fat, if you're looking to lose weight sustainably, which many of you men are that are watching this video right now. Now, if you're somebody who's super committed and you just want to know how to work out and that's it, that's where I've seen people absolutely excel with in-person training. That's why in-person training is really popular for athletes, right? A lot of athletes have coaches because they need to focus on their speed, their agility, their quickness, their performance when they go to play football on the football field or whenever they go to play tennis or whatever it may be. It's the athletes and any other person that has the commitment but doesn't have the knowledge to know what they should be doing in the gym or for their sport. Those are the people that really do excel with in-person training, and that's where it really makes sense. But for many of you that are looking to lose body fat, you're trying to find something that's actually sustainable. You quite honestly don't have the same level of discipline as somebody that is a high performance athlete or someone that just needs knowledge only, then in-person training may not be the best fit for you. Now, the second issue with in-person training is that for many of you, you're traveling or your schedule is not set in stone. It's somewhat volatile. It's always changing. So you have to move around training sessions, or you miss weeks on end without being held accountable when you're gone, because many of those in-person trainers, and I can speak to this, are super occupied already with clients because they're trading their time for money. They have to physically be there at the gym. And those in-person trainers have to really focus on the clients that they're physically there with. So that's one of the other reasons why, even if you did get a workout plan that was somewhat customized to you outside the gym, They may not be able to even hold you accountable to it or make sure that you're doing it because they're so occupied with their in-person clients. You don't always have a set schedule that's the same week in and week out. So you cancel training sessions and you get charged for them. You have to move them around. You may miss 2 weeks and then you miss out on your workouts and you're still not being held accountable outside the gym anyway, or even while you're traveling. So it leads to issues, especially if you're a really busy guy, which you most likely are if you're watching this video. Now, the third and final biggest issue with in-person training is that it becomes a crutch. You have to rely on a trainer or a person to physically be there with you to work out, right? When you're hiring a trainer mainly for the sake of accountability alone and you already know what you should be doing, you just need help doing it, trying to solve that with an in-person trainer when you already have some barrier to entry with the gym, you don't like it for whatever reason, that's not going to be a long-term sustainable solution for you because it will become a crutch. You'll become reliant on it, where every single time you go to the gym, you need the in-person trainer to be there. So if you're only working out 2 days a week and you know you need to work out 4 days a week, it's going to be much more difficult for you to knock out those other 2 workouts outside of those training sessions when that trainer is not there. And when you stop working with an in-person trainer, for many of you that were really relying on that accountability aspect, all of a sudden you notice that your progress takes a huge dip because you're not going to the gym anymore, because there's no one there holding you accountable, physically being there, watching you work out. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. A lot of you guys have a good idea of what you should be doing, but you need to be held accountable to what you know you should be doing, even though you have days where you don't want to do it anyway. And that's fine, but solving that problem with somebody physically being there for you to work out is not the long-term solution that you guys should look for. If anything, that's going to make it much worse. Now, I don't want to completely bash on in-person training. It has its benefits. You can really focus on your form. You can have somebody there to really optimize how you perform a specific movement, but you're going to be lacking these 3 things: the accountability outside the gym, something that's going to be flexible and works for your busy schedule in the long term. And then number 3, you may develop a crutch if you're hiring a trainer out of mainly accountability, if you end up relying on that trainer to physically be there for you to work out every single time you go to the gym. I've certainly helped men see great results in person, like Joel, who lost 50 pounds in 1 year. But now I have clients like Chris, who will lose 36 pounds in 3.5 months and end up getting down to 183 in less than a year. And I have clients like Hollis who lose north of 50 pounds over a span of 6 months while traveling, like we mentioned earlier, right? And then Steve, who has tried counting calories and has tried working with an in-person trainer as well, I helped him go from 244 to under 200 for the first time in 6 years, and now he has a flat stomach. And before we dive into the online personal training side of things, if at any point you want to check out our links in the video description, there's going to be a form that you can fill out to work with me personally, an overview of all of our transformations of the men that I've worked with virtually online. And there's also going to be a playlist of these guys talking about their experience on how they were able to see such incredible results virtually. So all 3 of these guys I worked with online, and 2 of them, Hollis and Steve, worked with an in-person trainer in the past. And if anything, I've helped more men see more in the way of transformations and see greater improvements in their health online in comparison to in-person. And you may think that's somewhat weird or different, especially some of you guys that are north of the age of 40 that are a little bit more old school and you want to see what's actually in front of you. You want something that's a little bit more tangible. Main reasons why everyone that I'm working with right now that comes into this online program is losing on average anywhere between 4 to 8 pounds per month and ends up getting a flat stomach on average in a span of 3 months. So the first one that we touched on earlier is the accountability outside the gym. With the clients that I work with online, they not only get a workout program, I'm constantly reviewing each one of their meals that they log, right? And all I ask them to do is just take a picture and to type in the ingredients. And if they don't have time to, at least just take a picture so I can see it. That way I'm holding them accountable to the nutrition plan that I give them in the beginning when we first start working with each other, but I know exactly what it looks like. It's not like I'm leaving them in the dark like I would with an in-person trainer that is just working with them at the gym and that's it, right? And then the second is any sort of traveling. working around your busy schedule, working around the last minute meetings that come up. With your workouts especially, it's not like they're designated to one specific appointment. We can move a workout on Monday from 10 a.m. all the way up until 7 p.m. if you wanted to, or the next day if you had to. So with that extra layer of customization and more in the way of flexibility, you can work around your busy schedule like nothing if you have a workout that can be moved to any date. And you're also having a coach that's there holding you accountable to those workouts as well, and changing what the workouts actually look like if the gym that you're going to changes as well. Now, the third and final point is accountability, but having the self-discipline to hold themselves accountable. Because I'm not only teaching these guys how to lose body fat, but how to keep it off for the rest of their lives with a lifestyle change that's both effective and enjoyable, that truly does work for their busy schedule. Not working around an in-person appointment, not getting any sort of support outside the gym either. You're getting the support that you need, but you're knocking out the workouts yourself with a well-structured plan, right? Which isn't always easy. It can be a tough transition, but I'm sure many of you would agree you would much rather work out on your own than have to be in a position where you need somebody to watch you work out. If you're looking for a long-term sustainable solution to where you eventually may not even need to work with a trainer, which is the goal for many of the clients and the men that I work with, that should be your goal too. Your goal should not be to always rely on someone to physically be there for you to work out. Because if you always have to work out with someone being there, you'll never work out yourself. If you can't, find a plan for yourself that you can follow independently. Seeing results is going to be a very, very tough challenge for you because you're never going to be able to do it on your own. And at the end of the day, nobody is going to save you. No one's going to save you but yourself. And that's something that I tell my clients all the time. Even though I'm giving them a plan, I'm giving them a personalized workout program and nutrition plan and holding them accountable at times when they need it. At the end of the day, the person that is doing the work is you. And nobody else can do that work for you but you. And the sooner that you guys realize that, the better. Because it's one thing to be held accountable, but it's one thing to be completely handicapped and to have a crutch of someone having to be there physically to help you work out. Hollis, for example, like we mentioned earlier, who lost 50 pounds in 6 months, he does not need to work with me anymore. Chris, like I mentioned earlier, 36 pounds in 3.5 months, now down to 183. He does not need to work with me anymore. And you can see why he doesn't have to work with me with this video right here. Pretty cool. And these are honestly transformations that I was not able to help my clients see in person because there was just way too many moving parts that weren't being addressed. And if anything, there was a little bit too much in the way of accountability to the point to where it actually worked against them instead of for them. So if you're a super busy guy that's looking to lose body fat, you want to get a flat stomach, those are all going to be things that you want to address. If you feel like you're in a position now where you need to hire a trainer, you need more structure, maybe a little bit more in the way of accountability, and you need some more knowledge on what you should be doing as well, those are going to be some very important points for you to go over if you're thinking about hiring a trainer. Now, if you want to learn more about how I can help you online, lose your belly fat, and fully optimize your health, there's going to be a link down below on the top of the video description to fill out a form to work with me personally. If I feel like you're a good fit, I'll reach out to you and be happy to take a deeper dive into your situation to see if I can help. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at It's Bobby O'Brien. The link to that will be in the middle of the video description, and I will see you guys in the next video.